Hi, welcome at this session where I'm going to explain you how to successfully implement an autonomous agent. Okay. Cool. This session it's all about Microsoft Copilot. It's all about the autonomous agents, and it's all about how you can create one. Cool. Um, First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Rob Kuipers, working for GAC. It's a Microsoft partner based here in the Netherlands. I'm a pre-sales consultant. I'm specialized in CRM, the Power Platform, and AI, and I love to share my knowledge. Writing blogs, creating videos, I own 2 podcast shows. I'm a big Top Gun fan. I am indeed a former aircraft spotter. So Copilot, perfect. Um, in 2028, Gartner predicts that 33% of all enterprise applications will include some form of agentic AI. Personally, I don't agree with Gartner because I think that by 2028, the percentage of enterprise applications using agentic AI will be much higher. But this was result in that 15% of the daily work decisions are being made autonomously by agentic AI. So 15% of the decisions are made by autonomous agent by 2028. All right, let me explain some basic terms. We are talking about AI. When I went to school 25 years ago, artificial intelligence was already something I learned. It's technology that computers can think and learn like a human by recognizing patterns. Basically, that is artificial intelligence. Copilot, it's like a magical word for everybody. If you don't know it, maybe Copilot can do it. Okay, Copilot is the user experience created by Microsoft towards AI, to work smarter, to boost your productivity in the different Microsoft software. Then we have agents. And agents are typically digital employees which can independently perform specific tasks, like sending an email, scheduling appointments, creating a lead in your CRM system, stuff like that. Okay. And then we have the term autonomous. And that's the ability to make decisions on your own, carry out tasks on your own. Like me as a human, I can make decisions for myself and I can create tasks myself. The ability to do this, that means autonomous, without human intervention. And that is the world of agentic AI, creating agents that can make decisions on their own and they can take the actions that they want on their own. That is the world of agentic AI. So there is a difference between Copilot and agents because Copilots are a personal assistant. They are assisting you as a human. They work for you as a human. And there is a Copilot for every person, no matter in what piece of software or application you are working in. But what is important, there is a one-on-one relationship between you as a human and a Copilot. If you do not work, the Copilot does not work. If you use Outlook, try sending an email, the Copilot will assist you with only that activity. That's a Copilot. And that's a difference between Copilot and an agent, because an agent can work not using you as a human. It can work out, and it's an autonomous and it's proactive. It doesn't need you to work. It works on behalf of a process or a company or a partial process. And you can scale sales, you can scale agents. You cannot scale copilots because a copilot is a one-on-one relationship with you as a human. You can scale agents because they are not connected to one human. They are autonomous. You can scale them to whatever size you want. That's a big difference between Copilot and agents. So what is an agent then? If I look at because I'm a CRM guy, when I look at the old days, we got a sales rep, and a sales rep, with any luck, had a CRM system where he or she could register their accounts, their customers, their leads, their opportunities, the quotes, or whatever. Those were the old days. And then last year, we got the sales reps and they got the use of a Copilot, boosting their personal productivity. They got a Copilot in Outlook. They got a Copilot in Teams. They got a Copilot in their CRM system. And as from this year, a sales rep still has their CRM system, still has their personal Copilot. But as from this year, a sales rep will be overseeing a team of AI agents that's also doing part of his or her job. And that's a complete different world. That's what we call the agentic era, the agentic AI. And Copilot is still there. It's still important because when we are creating all of those agents, like a sales qualification, lead qualification agent, a case management agent, a writing agent, or whatever, they are created with the use of Copilot Studio, and a sales rep or whatever user uses and calls the different agents with Copilot. And that is why Copilot is the UI, is the UI for AI. Sales reps or even customers there will be using Copilot to communicate with all of the different agents. So what are agents? They are working autonomously, that's important, and they automate business processes, giving you as a user, a sales rep, a marketing, a service, or whatever, really an increase of productivity because they are using the large language models in combination with generative AI. And they're working alongside a human. They are not working for a human. No, they are working alongside you. And you can create agents in two different applications. You can use the Copilot Studio Agent Builder, and that is embedded in the Copilot chat. Every user, everybody who is watching this video right now and watching this session right now, they can use the Copilot Studio Agent Builder. It is embedded, it's a lightweight Copilot Studio embedded in Copilot chat. You can use it right away using templates. Try it out, it's great. You can also build them in Copilot Studio, and that's what this session is about. Create a complete autonomous agent in Copilot Studio, and you can publish it towards your applications, like your website. You can publish it to Microsoft 365 tools within your Microsoft in your collaboration suite. You can publish it towards your CRM or Business Central. You can even publish it to parts of the Power Platforms. Think about Power Apps. And you can create simple ones and you can create advanced ones. Let me give you an example of a simple one. Just connect your company website on an autonomous agent, and you can use the agent asking questions, and the agent will look at your website and give you back the answers in your natural language using all the information based on your company websites. A simple Copilot agent. You can also give this agent some actions, maybe creating a lead in CRM, maybe creating an order in Business Central. But you can just not only give him the ability to generate the answers based on your company website, but also on a certain moment, give him the ability to add a lead in your CRM system. And then you have the advanced agents. They can work independently. They can use, they in the conversation with the user, they can decide when to say what. And they have a lot of different actions, and they choose, the agent decides when and which action to take. And then we are talking about real advanced agents. My tip of this session is, when you are creating an autonomous agent, try to create a simple one. Just retrieving information from your company website, summarizing things, and giving back the answers based on your website. All right. Some agent scenarios where you can use autonomous agents for. It's, for instance, the IT help desk asking questions. Okay, how does the beamer works? Or what do I need to do to make a reservation for whatever, for a video camera or whatever. You can use it also for an onboarding agent. Maybe new employees start with your company every month, and every month they have the same questions. How do I, where do I, what is arranged with lunch? Do we get a company car? How do I apply for leave? All that kind of stuff. But there are also more advanced agents, like a lead generation or a lead qualification agent, really helping you within the core of your business processes. So there are a lot of different agent scenarios. So how does it work? First of all, an agent gets triggered. And I will tell you further on in this session, there are a lot of triggers nowadays that an agent can use. It's not only a chatbot anymore. No, it can be triggered on an incoming mail or an filled in online form, whatever. You also have different instructions. Instructions are really important for agents because they will define how the agent will act, the tone of voice, for instance. You have to give them a lot of actions, what to do, enter the order, check the credit limit, send an email. And based on all the actions, the agent will react. They will create the order and they will send the email. So typical agent scenarios, there are a lot. Business to business, business to employee, business to consumer. Already talked about the onboarding agent, maybe onboarding a new supplier. They always have the same questions. Schedule bookings, managing cases or claims or whatever, automate approvals for leave. You name it, and the statement is, if the tasks that has to be executed are already always the same, think about creating an agent for it. Making sure that you as a human, you really have added value towards your customers. Then the 6 steps that you have to take to create your own autonomous agent. You have to create the agent, you add the brains, the knowledge, you orchestrate it somewhat, the topics. You have to say, you have to create a catalog of actions. You have to define when should it be triggered. And the last one, step number 6, is you have to publish it to whatever channel you like. First of all, let's look at creating the agent. You can explore the different templates that Microsoft has created for you. Use them out of the box or just get inspired by the templates. But really take a look at the different templates. And then the most important one is the instructions of your agent. In these instructions, and this in my example, I only use 3 sentences, but you can use much, much more. You have to instruct how the agent should behave. You have to avoid vague language. You have to break it down in logical sentences. You also have to specify what not to do. Do not use some kind of technical language. And help the agent what a good response. Feed them with examples how to respond. Also important, keep tuning your agent. So don't fill in those instructions, couple of sentences, and just push the agent live and never look at it. No, keep adjusting and tuning the instructions of your agent. And then the question is, do you want to create a classic chatbot or do you want to create a real autonomous agent? Because the chatbot, it's reactive. It reacts to direct user input and follows a static predefined script. But also simple interactions based on rules, and it operates within predefined boundaries. This is like a chatbot. This is Power Virtual Agent. But when you are creating an autonomous agent, it's proactive and it can work on complex tasks. And the difference between those two is one important setting. Because if you set it, the generative AI, to classic, you are creating a classic chatbot. Just using the topics. When user A says B, you do C. But when you set it to generative, and it's still in preview mode, then the autonomous agent really gets autonomous, because then it can respond with the best combination of actions and topics and knowledge that it used. Then it's going to be a real, like it feels like a human conversation with the user who is using the agent. This is probably the most important setting of your autonomous agent if you want to create an agent that is autonomous. All right, that was creation of the agent. Then you have to give him, let's call it the brains, the memory. You have to give the agent the knowledge and the boundaries where it can work. Let's see. You can feed the agent with all kinds of knowledge. And these are the knowledge sources the agent will use to give back the answers or to take the actions. And these can be all kinds of sources. This can be public websites like your company website. This can be SharePoint locations. They can be physical files, PDF, Word files. This can be a Dataverse table. So this can be the different tables that are lying underneath of your CRM system. And all kind of connections, and it's still growing by the week. Another very important toggle. Do you allow that the agent will use its own general knowledge? This is important. You give the agent a certain knowledge sources, your company website, your SharePoint location, your Dataverse tables. But when you set this toggle to enable, you give the agent permission to not only look at your given knowledge sources, but use every piece of available knowledge available online. And this is risky business, because then you give the agent the permission to also look at maybe websites of your competitors, or maybe fake news or whatever. So my advice is, do not enable this feature yet. It's too early. Something else, because the agent, it always looks over your shoulder. Okay, what kind of knowledge sources, when you are doing your day-to-day job, in which office products do you work, in which files do you work, and it will give you suggestions when creating a new agent. Okay, maybe you have to look at this knowledge source because in your day-to-day job you always use these knowledge sources, or maybe used in previous agents. Another one is very important. It's the orchestration of your Dataverse tables, because a Dataverse table can be very large, a lot of different fields, and it's not always completely clear, not to us as a user or as a configurator or as developers, but also not as an agent. Okay, what are the connections between the different fields in this Dataverse table? And now within Copilot Studio, you have the ability to explain to your autonomous agent, okay, what is the logic behind the different Dataverse tables, so that the agent can really find the information in the connected Dataverse tables. And also the analytics, just keep tuning your agent. If your agent is live, you have to keep monitoring him. It gives you insights in which sources are actually used and successfully. And it gives you insight to which knowledge sources are not used at all. Skip them. Okay, what's the knowledge? Let's look at the topics, because topics are the core building blocks also of your agent, and topics has nothing to do with AI. Topics, they are coming from the time that Copilot Studio was named Power Virtual Agent. And topics, they are like there were like a couple of a list of topics that can be triggered within the conversation. Like in this case, maybe something about a diving course or something like that. And a topic you can orchestrate. If user A says B, execute C. That is what a topic does. And this is how a topic looks like within Copilot Studio. You orchestrate the conversation. And it gets triggered when saying something. In the old world, again, the most important setting of your Copilot Studio, your autonomous agent. How should your agent interact with people? On the classic way or on the generative way, generative AI? When you set it to classic, the trigger phrases, like you see over here, there are like 5 different trigger phrases. When part of this phrase is entered by the chat by the user, the topic is triggered. Cool. But if you set it to generative, the preview, then you can see that the trigger is also changed. And now natural language comes into play. Now I can say, I would love to dive. That's not a trigger phrase on the left side. No, but because it's natural language, because it's generative AI, the agent recognizes, maybe this person wants to learn to dive or is interested in a diving course. Let's trigger the topic. So now the conversation of the agent comes much more natural. All right. Those were the topics. You can still use the variables. They were already available in the Power Virtual Agent. And the variable, they can capture information given by the user. If the agent asks me for my age or my name, I can put it within the topic. Okay, what's your name? I respond to the agent and he puts my name in the variable name. But you have to orchestrate the filling of the variables. And you can use these topics within the topic, but you can also use the global variables, which can be used across topics. But then Copilot Studio came available, and then we got something new. We got the entities. And basically what they are like represent a specific type, like a city or a name. And the Copilot agent, it recognizes automatically somewhere in the conversation that the user says New York City, because it says I love NYC. The big difference between an entity and a variable is that a variable I have to orchestrate in the topic, putting my name in the variable name. And with an entity, the agent is smart enough to identify, for instance, in this case, the city, and put it automatically in the entity city. There's no orchestration or whatever needed for that. You can give it a hand, of course. You can say, in this case, diving experience. You can say, okay, what are the synonyms? You can say basic, medium, advanced, and the synonym of medium is also average and moderate. So you can also help the agent defining and spotting the different entities. These entities, they will come into use. You will use them in the actions. Next topic, actions. And the actions basically let the agent do the work for you. They really extend the agent. You know the picture that I showed in the beginning, the simple agent just retrieving information, and let's say the moderate agent, they are execute some kind of actions. Well, these are the actions. What can you do with actions? You can create actions like it's a Power Automate flow, creating a lead in your CRM system or sending an email. And basically what you are doing is you building a complete catalog of possible actions that the agent can take. Again, are you creating a chatbot or are you creating an autonomous agent? Because a chatbot is reactive. And the actions there are called from the topics. And they are only called from topics if you, as a developer or as a configurator of the agent, have orchestrated it. When you are creating an autonomous agent, This agent is proactive, and the agent will initiate the right action on the right moment, and the agent decides the action and the moment. So you do not have to orchestrate when which action is executed. And this is again the most important setting which is enabling that. Do not use the classic, but use the generative AI, because that's the only way that you can give the agent the right to decide for itself which action has to be executed when. And there are different types of actions. You can use the pre-built connectors, Power Automate flows, REST APIs, and they keep growing. If you can connect to Outlook, so you don't have to do this using Cloud Flows or Power Automate flows. You can use Excel connectors, you can use Dataverse connectors, so you can create your actions right from inside Copilot Studio. But you can also use Power Automate flows, because there are like 1500 connectors available in Power Automate, much more than in Copilot Studio itself. So you can also create your Power Automate cloud flows to do stuff, for instance, in your CRM system, or maybe using one of the 1500 other connectors within Power Automate. So there is nothing, almost nothing, that you cannot automate. That's where you cannot create an action for. All right. The actions. And then is the input and output, and there are your entities again. Because the entities have spotted the city or your name or whatever during the conversation on a natural way. And these entities you can use whenever the agent decides to execute a certain action. You can use the entities as an input or as an output variable. So you can use, for instance, your name as an input for the specific action. But the most important is you are building a catalog of actions, and you let the autonomous agent decide which action has to be executed when. It's not up to you as a user, it's up to the autonomous agent. And then we got the triggers. Because in the old way, when Copilot Studio was known as the Power Virtual Agent, it was a chatbot. It was only accessible from the channel where you published it towards. And in 99% of the cases, it was published on your own website. And there you could use the chatbot. Cool. That was the only trigger that you could use to wake up the chatbot. But when you think about it, we as humans, when do we get triggered? We get triggered by when we get an email, or we have a list in SharePoint edit, or we get a Teams message or task or an incoming file. Then we start doing our job. And the autonomous agent responds exactly the same way as humans do. And they have like a lot of different triggers that you can use, which will wake up your autonomous agent. For instance, your agent can be triggered when an item is created in a SharePoint list, or when an email comes into your functional mailbox, or an online form is filled in on your website. You can even use the Power BI, the data-driven alerts. When an alert goes off, it triggers your autonomous agent. Or when an event is updated in your calendar, is a file updated or created somewhere on OneDrive. Even you can use Planner. You can use a lot of different triggers which will wake up your autonomous agent. You can even say, okay, it's recurrent. Every day at 8 o'clock or every hour, this autonomous agent must wake up and do their thing. That's also a possibility. These triggers, they really change the way Copilot agents will work. And then the publishing, because you have to publish your agent, and you can publish it to every channel that suits you. You can publish it towards your personal, to your company website, to your Teams environment, to your CRM, to your socials, to your Telegram, WhatsApp, whatever. It doesn't mean that your agent is only accessible from that platform. It lives there. So it can also be triggered from, like I said, the email or the online form or your SharePoint list or whatever. It only lives also on this channel. And if it gets too complex, the agent has the possibility to enable it to an agent. So you can hand off the chat session towards an agent using Dynamics 365 customer service or Salesforce. So if it gets too complex, just hand over the conversation to a human. So, and the human can add really the added value. All right. Those were the 6 steps you can use to successfully implement an autonomous agent. But to make life easy, what Microsoft did is they created 10 brand new autonomous agents. And those 10 autonomous agents, they will be available next March 2025, available for general use. 2 of them I would like to show you using a video: the sales qualification agent and the case management agent. The sales qualification agent helps you as a seller, and it monitors 24/7 incoming leads in your pipeline and making the priorities for you, researching the online sources and defining for you which leads are the most valuable and you should be working on. Sales qualification agent. The case management agent, it's automating it, helping you as a customer service agent, creating the cases, making sure that you resolve the cases, making sure that you on the right time and timely answer and update your customer and close the cases. It really helps you with the day-to-day things that you are doing with regards of incoming cases. Okay, let's take a look at the first one, and that's the sales qualification agent.
As a sales rep, you spend hours on manual tasks like researching leads and writing personalized emails. That's precious time that could be spent closing deals. Say hello to Sales Qualification Agent, your new AI agent that helps you prioritize leads and drive better business outcomes. Let's see how it works with Dynamics 365 Sales. The agent autonomously researches leads in your pipeline 24/7. It analyzes multiple data sources and flags the hottest prospects for you. With just one click, you can learn why a particular lead is prioritized based on research data synthesized from CRM records, third-party data, and public web sources. When you're ready to reach out, the agent has already drafted a personalized email. A quick review, a couple edits, and you're ready to hit send. And just like that, you're ready to move on to the next prioritized lead. With the Sales Qualification Agent, you'll never miss a beat. More meetings, more deals, more wins.
All right, that was the sales qualification agent really helping your sales reps and your marketing staff. Take a look at the case management agent. Really cool feature, also available next month.
Copilot agents can help contact centers improve customer experiences, drive efficiency, and reduce costs. Let's see how the case management agent reduces the manual burden on service reps throughout the case lifecycle. Here, I'm a service rep, and I've been connected with a customer to resolve a new issue. Instead of having to manually create a case, I see the agent has already generated one. It identified relevant case details based on the customer's history and the transcript to auto-populate the appropriate fields. With Copilot, I'm also provided with a summary and other information to help quickly get me up to speed. And if I need a little more help, it will jumpstart collaboration with Microsoft Teams. Once I finish this chat with the customer, the agent will provide a summary and continue managing any follow-up needed for this and my other open cases. Here the next day, alerting me to an email from the customer. It proactively drafts responses, which I have the option to review and edit before they're sent. Otherwise, the agent will continue monitoring and autonomously responding as needed until I'm prompted it's time to close the case. Once I confirm, the agent automatically generates wrap-up notes, fills in the resolution details, and closes it for me.
Two examples of the autonomous agents that Microsoft has created for you. You for sales and you for customer service. It was a really bold statement from Satya Nadella last month, and he was stating that agents will replace all software. It could be true, because like I've shown you in this session, agents will be the future of business applications. Business applications will be there. Your CRM system will stay. Your ERP system will stay. But like I've shown you in this session, what an autonomous agent or what an agent can do is decide where he or she, I know it's a he or she, the agent, will get the different knowledge. So I think that the CRM and the ERP systems will stay as a structure, as a database structure, but that the GUI, like the forms in your CRM system, they will change. And they will change, and you can see the first things coming within your CRM system. You can see that the forms are basically a little bit fading out, and you got your Copilot chat window, which you just use as a normal conversation, and the agent behind the chat will decide, okay, where do I get the information for my CRM or for my ERP system? Agents are here and they will stay here. All right. There's only one option. It's like the fourth revolution. It's the AI revolution where we are in right now. There's only one option. You have to embrace it. You have to embrace AI. You have to embrace Copilots, and you have to embrace the agents, because all of those three are connected. And in the next year, this year of 2025, those combination, AI, Copilots and agents, they will be a very big part in your biz apps. Thank you for watching my session where I try to explain you how to successfully implement your own autonomous agent. Enjoy your day, and hopefully I see you somewhere on some conference or maybe live or online in the next video. Hopefully to share a lot of more knowledge from my side. Have a nice day. Bye bye.